अस्सलाम वालेकुम व्यूअर्स, आप देख रहे हैं वॉइस ऑफ टोरंटो टेलीविज़न की लाइव ट्रांसमिशन। आज हम एक स्पेशल ट्रांसमिशन कर रहे हैं वेडनेसडे वाले दिन। जनरली आप मेरी ट्रांसमिशन देखते हैं फ्राइडे वाले दिन, प्राइम टाइम विद अंजुम मलिक। आज की जो ट्रांसमिशन है ख़ास तौर पे इट इज़ गेयर्ड अप टू a very great subject which is education. But before we even get to that and talk about the whole topics and everything, दो तीन चीज़ें बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट हैं कि आप वॉइस ऑफ टोरंटो टेलीविज़न की नशरियात जो हैं लाइव सारे सोशल मीडिया चैनल्स पे देख रहे हैं। यूट्यूब पे भी लाइव हैं, फेसबुक पे भी लाइव हैं और सारे आईपी चैनल्स पे भी लाइव हैं। हमारा सोशल मीडिया हैंडल है @वॉइस ऑफ टोरंटो TV और हमारा फ़ोन नंबर जो है वो आप स्क्रीन पर देख सकते हैं 905-670-4114। इस नंबर पे आप हमें ड्यूरिंग द प्रोग्राम कॉल करके हमारे साथ इंटरेक्ट कर सकते हैं। आज ख़ास तौर पे इस स्पेशल प्रोग्राम के अंदर कोई आपका क्वेश्चन हो तो हमारे पास जो गेस्ट आज आए हुए हैं उनसे आप बात कर सकते हैं और बहुत सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन जो है वो आप ले सकते हैं। आज ख़ास तौर पे इस प्रोग्राम के अंदर बहुत सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन आपके साथ हमने शेयर भी करनी है, ख़ास तौर पे एजुकेशन के हवाले से। इस मुल्क के अंदर हमारे पास वी आर अ डाइवर्स कंट्री एज़ यू ऑल नो, कैनेडा, और उसके अंदर जो है एजुकेशन जो है दैट इज़ अ वेरी vital part of Canadian heritage. We have so many different programs. The government of Canada has introduced a lot of institutional programs that are running, and we all are going through, a notion of where the international students are coming into this country, and the government of Canada has introduced a lot of programs that will help the international students who wish to come to Canada, wish to permanently reside into Canada, and also at the same time, become a permanent resident and be a part of the Canadian economy. So this is a great initiative by the government of Canada, especially Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has unveiled a lot of these new programs. Through their Liberal caucus with their education ministers. Over time, they've been in government for a few years, as you all know. So especially during today's transmission, we are mostly focusing on education and a university, education in Canada, as you all know, it is so expensive, especially for international students, even for the Canadian students living in Canada. But you also have the opportunity where you can apply for the loans, OSAP loans and all that. But for international students, it becomes a challenge. But they are the driving force of our economy. When they come to this country, they integrate into our society, they become a great citizens, and they become a part of our Canadian society here. So today I have a privilege, actually, as a matter of fact, that I have the president of Algoma University, who have flown all the way from Sault Ste. Marie to be a part of our transmission. And then we also have an international student with us. So the president is Asima, she is with us, and we also have an international student, that is Tosif, Muhammad Tosif. So a very good evening to both of you tonight.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
Very good. How are you?
Good.
Thank you for having us on your show tonight.
No, it's a pleasure. I thought it was long awaited. I had to wait. Honestly, I haven't had to wait for somebody for 4 weeks to come on the program, even though they are the federal ministers or an MPs or MPPs. But I think you sit on a high pedestal that I had to wait for almost 6 weeks to get you on my show. But
we're here tonight.
You're here tonight.
Finally.
So viewers, you are watching a special transmission on Algoma University tonight with your host Anjum Malik. And I have, as I said, we have with us, Asima, who's the president, and an international student of the university. And we'll talk in detail, what he's doing and, what he wants to be at and how does he like Canada and how does he like the university itself. But very importantly, during this transmission, you are watching us live on all social media. Pick up your phone, give us a call, interact with us, ask question from the president itself. 905-670-4114 is the number to interact with us tonight. So thank you again for coming into the studios, Asima and Muhammad Tasif. Let's talk a little bit about Algoma University. For a lot of people maybe who are watching it tonight, they know the name of Algoma University, but they not know the background of Algoma University, how it all started, where it all came from. Then about yourself, how long you've been heading, Algoma University. Let's have a little bit of that info first of all, before we go into the detailed conversation.
Okay, well, Algoma University is a very special university in this province. It's one of the 21 publicly funded universities. It really got its start in the 1960s.
60s, okay.
Yes, and
That's
there was
pretty old.
a group in Northern Ontario in a city called Sault Ste. Marie that really envisioned a university for their community. There wasn't a university at that time. And so this group of people envisioned that university for their community, and eventually we became one of the 21 Ontario universities. Now, in 1971, what happened is we were a college affiliate of a bigger university.
Okay.
And we moved on to what's known as the Shingwak site. And that was in 1971. It was 1 year after the Shingwak Indian Residential School had closed. We needed space. That building came open and we moved in.
Right.
And what sort of transpires after that is a very important special mission that was bestowed to the university when we actually got independence in 2008. And it speaks to cross-cultural teaching, learning, and understanding. So everyone knows this week we are celebrating or acknowledging the National Indigenous Day.
Oh, okay.
National Day of
Yes, we are. That
Reconciliation.
is on Friday, yes.
And a lot of people have the day off and will be participating in activities across the country. And for Algoma, having moved into the former residential school in 1971, and having now this special mission bestowed by the government around cross-cultural teaching, learning, and understanding, really situates us in a multicultural approach to teaching and learning. And so we value and we are very, very committed to this special mission, which speaks to valuing cultures from around the world. So the original vision for this teaching place on Shingwak site was a teaching wigwam.
Okay.
And it was a place that was going to, the indigenous people of the area were going to teach about their culture. So the Europeans could survive the winters. They were going to teach each other the languages, share different tools, etc. But that vision went horribly wrong, and we saw the residential schools come into Canada. In this day and age, when we think about our special mission and what was originally the intent of education on that site, we now are recommitting to that idea of cross-cultural teaching. So we now are welcoming, as a university, students from all over the world. We have 60 countries represented on our campuses. And so as we developed, we ended up finding our way to Brampton. And there's a whole story there, but we started as a college pathway to university degree program. And it was in business. And then we added computer science. And we were there for probably about 11, 12 years. And then the board asked me to come down when I became the president of Algoma University, and asked me to make some decisions about the Brampton campus. And so we were under 100 students, but I could see that the community of Brampton really wanted to expand the university presence in their downtown. So they asked me, what is your vision for Brampton? And I said, you know what, I don't have one today, but if you allow me, I'll speak with the community. I'll come back to you in 6 months with a vision. And so we did that 3 years ago, and we envisioned the first School of Business and Economics.
So let me ask you this. We will talk about this transition in a minute, but when this university was originally founded in Sault Ste. Marie, that's where the campus is, the head office is.
That's right.
They were catering to what kind of students in that area? It was more Ontarians, or it were more people coming from the other provinces of Canada coming in to study in Ontario as well?
Mostly Ontarians.
Mostly Ontarians.
Yeah, so Southern Ontario, Northern Ontario. Yeah, and we were a campus of about 1,200 students at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Since you guys are growing, rapidly, I see that.
Yeah.
In Brampton, where I live myself, I see Algoma University ads, and the exposure is there, the presence is there. Now, when you talk about choosing Brampton, what was the reason behind it not to go in Toronto, not to go in Markham or Scarborough, and those areas, and what was the reason behind choosing the Brampton area?
Well, at that time, at that time, it was the government was looking for universities that would develop pathways for students from the college system to the university. And so it was suggested that Algoma situate themselves in Brampton and start with this pathway in business. I don't think any of us realized what that decision would mean down the road. So
do you have a lot of integration from the Sheridan College when people graduate and then they move on to Algoma?
There are about 6 colleges that we're working very closely with on college pathways. Most of them are coming into our computer science, our business programs. We are starting now to open up psychology, sociology, CESD, which is community economic and social development, etc.
So I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to talk to Mohammed Tausif. Welcome to, first of all, Voice of Toronto Television studios, and thank you for driving up here with Seema tonight. Now, what is your background? Where you come from, and why did you choose Algoma University, if I may ask?
First of all, thank you so much for welcoming and for this kind of appreciation. And my name is Mohammed Tayyib, and I'm basically from Punjab, Pakistan.
You're from Pakistan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have already done my graduation.
So it's Mohammed Tayyib, not Tausif. We want to correct that. Mohammed Tayyib.
And I have already done my graduation in computer science from Punjab, and over there in my home country. Then I'm here for the post-graduation certification.
For the post-graduation?
Yeah, in business.
In computer science?
Yeah, basically the major is computer science related to the IT, but I'm having the business and project management course name.
So what was your experience, first of all? How did you approach Algoma, first of all? Like, how were you searching on Google and you were looking for universities? How did it came across to you that you have to choose Algoma University? Beside Seema.
Even at that time, I didn't even know who's the president of Algoma. I just running through the Facebook, and I just saw that.
You saw an ad.
Algoma University. Then I just explored that. It was my dream. It's basically the dream of my father to go to the abroad and in Canada here. So I just explored. I just saw Algoma. I just explored it. I just found its specialities. Because whenever you're just taking a decision, you have to explore it first. Because anytime you are taking a decision, you are choosing your best.
Absolutely.
You are trying to choose your best. So in the best, you have to complete few things of the institute or other of your selection. So if I was choosing Algoma, I just took it out. I just already heard about Sheridan and other colleges and universities though. But basically, first of all, it's in Brampton. I just saw there's its location, it's in Brampton. And as an international student, basically, what we want, whenever we just go to another country, we just want our community, just from the starting to stand
the
up.
Food, the community,
the friends. Because, and secondly, there are a lot of other specialities that Algoma have. Look at, if I just
I'm going to come to you on that specialty question, but here's my other question to you. You come from Pakistan, that's where I am from as well, and Seema visited Pakistan very recently as well. What was the process for you when you have started the process and you have gone through the process of registering with Algoma? You got the commitment offer from them that you are eligible to come to us. We're going to send you this letter. Tell me a little bit of process. The reason I want you to do that, because people who are watching you tonight, there are a lot of people who are watching you tonight from Pakistan as well. And if you can share that experience of the visa processing, how you all went about, let's do that quickly.
For sure. Because basically, first of all, most of the people are just scared of the Canada, and it's just like people just make them crazy, like, oh, it's not possible, it's really tough and it's really strict. Just leave this option, try Australia.
You mean the visa situation?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, it's really tough before 2019 or 20, and after that to 2020. Like Pakistan is also included in the student direct stream as India and Sri Lanka and other countries.
Correct.
So in student direct streams, the visa ratios are almost 90% higher than the previous one.
Okay.
So now these days it's not that much tough that was before. So first of all, you just have to apply for your registration letter from the university, a confirmation letter. You just submit your fees, 1 year tuition fee.
1 year fee. We will talk about that.
And then you just have to gather your documents for your applying for the visa.
Right.
And for that, you just have like sport of.
So what was the process for you, the experience you had with the visa officer when you have submitted the documents? Did you have to go physically see a visa officer or no?
No. Straightly no, because it's just most of the time the consultant just said you have to, it depends, you have to visit them if they call you or not. But if you are just documented your things properly, I don't think so they will just call you. Even as I know that as of the students come here, no one just visited the visa offices, they just get their visas.
Okay.
But the thing is, you have to properly
so do you have to pass any IELTS exams?
Yeah, for
you
sure.
had to. And what was the band you have to have for that?
For
to
sure.
be eligible?
For that, you just have to make band like 6.5 overall with no less than 6 in each module. So it's just a journal.
Okay, so around 6.5 bands you had to have from Pakistan.
Exactly.
But that is also when you have done your graduation.
Exactly.
It's not like college degree or
even after college, it's the same.
Okay, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just basically it depends on the requirement. Like for the visa, applying for the visa, they required you for having 6.5 overall with no less than 6.
Okay.
Even university have the same requirement for applying over here.
And did you have to get any insurance to come to Canada as a when you're coming as a student into this country? Did you have to apply for like gone through like Canadian websites? Have to get any sort of insurance when you arrive? You have no insurance if you get sick, something happens? How did you cover that?
Actually, Algoma University is providing all of the insurances.
Oh,
we don't even apply. Even when we just get registered, we just get registered ourselves in the semester. They just automatically enroll in the. We are having dental insurance. We're having health insurance.
Okay.
And they're covering all type of insurances. Even we have VIP.
And that is included in the fees.
It is, as well as all of the student support. So they have 100% of the time they have access to mental health and counseling services. All of the activities that any other student
would it's a similar like a OSAP insurance? I'm sorry,
OHIP.
Like a OHIP insurance?
Yeah, very similar.
Similar?
Yes.
Okay, well
so
that's a good thing.
They use the doctors that are here and they have the dental coverage that all of us would have.
Okay.
Yeah, we try to make it as seamless as possible for our international community.
Okay. So I'm just gonna go back on my camera. Viewers, आप देख रहे हैं वॉइस ऑफ टोरंटो टेलीविजन की लाइव ट्रांसमिशन और मैं हूँ आपका मेज़बान अंजुम मलिक और मेरे साथ हैं इस वक्त अलगोमा यूनिवर्सिटी से उनके प्रेसिडेंट असीमा और एक इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट हमारे साथ बैठे हैं पाकिस्तान से जो एक्सचेंज कर रहे हैं अपनी बहुत सारी इन्फॉर्मेशंस आपके साथ। और अगर आप हमारा प्रोग्राम देख रहे हैं या आपने अभी ट्यून किया है तो हमारे स्टूडियोज़ की लाइन के नंबर जो हैं हमारी स्क्रीन पे हैं 9056704114। इस पर आप कॉल करके कोई भी क्वेश्चन हो तो आप हमसे पूछ सकते हैं। So I'll come back to you, Asima. So let's talk about first of all the programs that the Algoma University have, and what are the prerequisites for people to apply. What programs people need to know that they can enhance. Let's have a little bit of everything, that we can tell our viewers tonight. That what are you guys offering as a university in Canada?
Yeah, and so, I mean, I think tonight I'll speak mostly to the Brampton campus because it's the campus that's closest to the GTA, and we certainly want to make sure that our viewers know what's in their backyard, basically. So the premise, what we're trying to do is build programs that will lead to employment afterwards. So we have been looking at and working with the community of Brampton, what do you need in terms of the labor force, talent development? We know Brampton wants to be part of the technical innovation corridor. They're positioning themselves very well. They're about to make a huge commitment on the innovation center. And so we're really looking at that tech sector, which for our students means 100% employment once they complete our programs, good jobs.
So does the recruiters come in at the university when the students are graduating, or you guys already send them like all these invites that, okay?
We do. We have career fairs, we have co-op programs, so students are getting to know the employers right off the bat. Most students who go through the co-op program, they will stay with that company. They'll have a job right afterwards. So there's the School of Computer Science and Technology now. It has the undergraduate program. It also has specializations. They are focused on programming. They have a gaming specialization. Risk, cybersecurity is involved in that program.
All of those management.
Yes, all of those sorts of things. And there's a master's program that'll be introduced to the community next fall.
Okay.
So they can start to think about registering for that program as early as November and December.
Okay.
In the School of Business and Economics, same thing. We have an undergraduate degree program with focuses in HR, accounting, marketing, aviation management, and the newest program and specialization is in the fastest growing market, which is the esports. So you can actually get a specialization in how to work in the esport environment and still get your BBA degree, your business degree.
That's interesting.
So that's a very that department is really thinking creatively, really thinking innovatively. We've just signed an agreement with a company called Unity Technologies. And Unity is the largest company that is working in that 3D animation, automation world. So if you think about gaming, film, automobile, architecture, tourism, you name it, when you're trying to build a 3D image into the work that you're doing, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be Unity that's playing in the background in the programming. So we will become, we have already signed the agreement. We're having a fairly significant grand opening in November. Unity will be coming to Brampton, and we will be opening up the National Training Center with Unity. And Algoma University will be the national training partner with Unity Technologies. So that will be connected to the School of Computer Science and Technology, but also to the continuing education arm of the university. So if people want to get Unity certifications, they can come to that center. They can do a 4 to 6 week boot camp course type thing. Or they can take part in a 2-year certification, a 1-year certification, or they can just take multiple courses over time. But these are, again, very good jobs and are giving back to Brampton as Brampton prepares to become part of that innovation corridor. We're now just offering a new group of courses, so community economic and social development degree, psychology, I think sociology is on its way, and there'll be a master's of social work coming as well to the Brampton campus.
So a lot of people who are watching you tonight, Asima, mostly people who wants to come from India, Middle East, Pakistan.
Yes.
Some of the countries, like in Middle East, people are already, some of them, they have some sort of a degrees, like they are in college there, but they still want to come to Canada to study. What can we offer them? From people from Pakistan, for example, somebody have done a diploma, have done a college, which is a grade 14 school in Pakistan. Similarly in India, I believe. What are the programs available for them? as well.
Yeah, and so we welcome those students in, and Canada is welcoming these students in. So if you think about someone like Mohammed, I mean, he is coming with a tremendous education already, and it is in the ICT sector.
Yeah.
So what he's decided to do is take the sort of focus in on the business side and the project management piece.
Okay.
So now, as he starts to build out his life in Canada, he's got the computer science from his schooling in Pakistan. He's mixing that with business and project management. And I'll tell you, like, he just has to pick up the phone. He has a job now. So when we look at our programs for international students, we're looking at the Unity technologies, designing that with computer science, so that students that are coming from abroad can take what they already have and build on it. And then become very employable. What we don't want is students sitting here with something that is of no value afterwards. We have business, 2-year business programs. We have 2-year computer science programs. We have health science programming. What else do we have? I think those are the main ones. We have the project management.
So what we're going to do is, Asima, we're going to take a very small break, and we will tell our audience that, you know, as you guys know, you're watching Voice of Toronto Television live transmission, a special transmission on a Wednesday with Algoma University. And if you have any question, I have the president sitting here with us, and we can answer those questions for you. Pick up the phone and give us a call at 905-670-4114 is the number to call. We're not changing this channel. We also have Algoma University ad running. If you have any question, you can call us after the live transmission as well, and we will route that call to Algoma University president, and they can their office can get in touch with you and talk to you. But certainly we would like you to get in touch with us and give us a call if you're watching us tonight right now. We'll come back in about 2 to 3 minutes of break time. Thank you so much.
I want to be a data scientist. That's something I'm passionate about. I want to bring a change in the medical aspect. Data scientists do collection of the data, then they analyze the data, and then they transform the data into meaningful conclusions. Algoma is unique because we get a chance to do one-on-one interaction with professor, and that's the best part.
The need of computer science graduate is huge. Nowadays, the industry demand is changing every day, and Algoma is adaptable. Algoma is changing its course content, changing the degree programs, and giving several certificate courses that the industry is actually looking for.
Personalized learning is the hallmark of Algoma's university experience. Algoma is offering the accelerated second degree. It's the only one in province.
Algoma not only just give us in-campus experience and skill set, but they also help us develop how to present ourselves in real world. Where do I see myself in 5 to 10 years? I see myself working at some multinational corporation as a data scientist. This is the first step towards my journey.
Looking for a dream house?
Always have your own doctor and a realtor. There is no shortcut to experience and knowledge. You want to buy, sell, or invest? Residential or commercial? Experience the difference with Asfar Tahir, your full-time realtor for life.
For all your tax and accounting consulting needs, call Waris Shah, your own tax and accounting consultant. Based in Mississauga, call now 905-232-7829.
वेलकम बैक व्यूअर्स, आप देख रहे हैं वॉइस ऑफ टोरंटो टेलीविज़न की लाइव ट्रांसमिशन ऑन वेडनेसडे टुडे। और आज की जो ट्रांसमिशन है ख़ास तौर पे दैट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, वी आर डूइंग इट विद अलगोमा यूनिवर्सिटी। और अगर आप हमारी ट्रांसमिशन देख रहे हैं और आपके बच्चे या आपकी फैमिलीज़ बैक होम इंडिया में हैं, पाकिस्तान में हैं, मिडिल ईस्ट में हैं, दुबई में हैं, सऊदी अरेबिया में हैं, जहाँ जहाँ पे भी हैं, कुवैत में हैं, जिन मुल्कों में भी रह रहे हैं, या आपके कोई इमीडिएट फैमिली मेम्बर्स रह रहे हैं, कज़न्स हैं, डिस्टेंट रिलेटिव्स हैं, तो ये आज की जो ट्रांसमिशन है ये बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है। लेकिन ये हमारे साथ आते रहेंगे हर एवरी फ्यू वीक्स दे विल बी विद अस फॉर अ ट्रांसमिशन टू कम एंड कीप ऑन टॉकिंग अबाउट देयर programs and their upcoming programs and all that what they can offer to international students। तो उस हवाले से अगर आपका कोई भी क्वेश्चन हो तो आप प्रोग्राम के बाद हमसे रब्ता कर सकते हैं। इनके नंबर्स जो हैं वो हमारी स्क्रीन पे हैं, आप इनको भी डायरेक्ट रब्ता कर सकते हैं। प्रेफरेबली हम चाहेंगे कि अगर आपको कोई क्वेश्चन हो आप प्रोग्राम के दौरान हमें कॉल कर लें, हमसे बात कर लें, या प्रोग्राम के बाद भी आप हमसे बात कर सकते हैं और हम आपके जो क्वेश्चन होगा वी कैन पुट अप टू देम। और नेक्स्ट टाइम कि जब दोबारा हमारे प्रोग्राम में आएंगे देन वी कैन आस्क देम दैट क्वेश्चंस। तो ख़ास तौर पे आज की जो ट्रांसमिशन है वो एजुकेशन के ऊपर है। अलगोमा यूनिवर्सिटी जो है जो एक यहाँ पर पब्लिक यूनिवर्सिटी है ब्रैम्पटन के अंदर, उस हवाले से आज उनकी प्रेसिडेंट हमारे साथ हैं, उनके जो प्रोग्राम्स हैं उस हवाले से हम बात कर रहे हैं। और हमारे साथ इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट हैं जो पाकिस्तान से हैं, वो अपना एक्सपीरियंस आपके साथ शेयर कर रहे हैं, अपने सेंटिमेंट्स आपके साथ शेयर कर रहे हैं। तो अब हम उनके पास वापस चलते हैं, विल गो बैक टू हर एंड वी हैव लॉट ऑफ मोर क्वेश्चन टू आस्क देम। So welcome back again after the break, guys. Let me ask you first, so your experience coming into Canada and learning, yourself at Algoma University, how would you define that?
Actually, as far as this learning here by myself is just concerned, the Algoma University, the faculty of the Algoma University is really amazing.
Okay.
I mean, the classroom structure is really small. It's not that much crowded. We just have 20 to 25 students per class in per section. So we can directly communicate with the professors even after the class. And if we have any doubts, any concerns, and if we want any guidance about our future or about our course or career, we can even directly talk to them. And apart from this, we have, you can say, student representatives who just career counselors who just guide us according to our career and what we can do after our having certification, even after having degrees, what are opportunities and possibilities that we can have.
So how do you feel in general as someone from Pakistan in Canada, landed in Brampton, landed at Algoma University, and now you're studying there? Now you feel safe, you feel secure, you feel that this university as you just said, faculty, the lecturers are great, the professors are great. How do you see yourself after you graduate from here? This is Canada where you want to, what we call retire in Canada. You want to live in this country. You want to get a permanent resident status. Want to be a Canadian citizen. And obviously you've been here. You must be talking about this university back home in Pakistan to a lot of your friends and your distant relatives and all that. Did you bring anybody else into Algoma University since you've been here?
My few friends are just their visa are under processing.
They are okay. That's good. Exactly. That's good. That's encouraging.
And as far as future is concerned or about my job and this stuff, it depends on. Actually, I just want to start up my own business.
You want to start your own business?
Yeah. Okay. But for that, I just have
a young entrepreneur. That's good.
Yeah, exactly. But for that, I have to get some. You can say some experience and some knowledge exactly related to the fields, because field is something else and the studying and the just getting your degree is something else. Okay. So I just want to get experience over here, and with, I guess it's the technological era, and having the combination of IT and business and project management, all this is just make a really perfect combination for me for just pursuing my career over here.
Okay. Asima, let's talk a little bit about a few things, very importantly, and that comes down to money. If anybody comes in from Pakistan or India or other countries into Canada, into major universities, what are their yearly expenses right now? How much tuition fee they have to pay, the boarding and lodging? And now we're going to come back again to Algoma, then, what are you guys offering? And similar programs on the same platform, great professors, Canadian professors, teaching in Canadian environment, but you're saving thousands and thousands of dollars. Let's talk about that.
Sure. Well, I think it's really important for particularly international students, but I would say domestic students as well. To really look carefully at the price structures in the universities, because they vary significantly. Algoma University has on purpose kept their tuition, international tuition rates, and their domestic tuition rates. We have tried to be close to the lowest in the province. And we're doing that for a reason, because we know, based on our history in Northern Ontario, that a university education changes lives.
Yeah, of course.
So we don't want to be, and the other thing that we know is that as students come to university, they like many parents, are putting up significant loans to get their child here.
True.
And so we don't want to add to undue hardship. We think an undergraduate degree should be accessible to all students. And so we're doing our very best to do that. So if international students are looking at Algoma, they're probably looking at one of the lowest fee structures for universities in Ontario.
Okay.
The other thing is, what I would share is, you have to look at the quality of experience. So as parents are looking with their children at where are they going to go, and sometimes they're older students and they're looking themselves, look at the size of the classrooms. Because if you're paying $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 for a tuition, and you're one of 700 or 800 students.
And that is for 1 year on a major university. Okay.
And if you're sitting in a classroom of 700, 800, 900 students, what is what are you actually getting from that experience? At Algoma, we are actually designing that whole facility to have classes of under 50.
Okay.
And we are working hard with our professors to build that personal connection with the students. We don't ask students for their number. Students will give me their number, and I'm like, I don't care what your number is. Tell me your name.
Just for the record, so the major universities like University of Toronto or Waterloo universities and all that, Laurier, what are their class size?
It really varies, but you could be in a class anywhere between, in Ontario, anywhere between 40 students and 400 students up to 1,000 students. So you really need to, and for some students it's okay. They don't mind being in a class of 700. But for some students,
this become more personalized. You're
very personalized.
Very personalized.
On our campus, I would tell you, most of the students know my face, know who I am.
Yeah.
They say hi. I know a lot of the students by name because I spend a lot of time with them.
Time with them, yes.
This university is meant to be a community. We're meant to share, to learn from and with each other, to celebrate many events together, as a community.
Yeah.
And we depend on our community partners as well. So we are often at community events. The students are attending community events. The Rose Theatre works very closely with us in the downtown so that our students can attend. We just had an International Drum Fest. The students from Timmins, Sault Ste. Marie, and Brampton all came into the Rose Theatre. We had a couple hundred tickets. You know, that's what it's all about. And so I would
it's
just,
a very homey environment.
Exactly.
Very homey.
Yes, homey.
That's good.
You know, we've designed a lot of special spaces where students can just gather between classes. We use all of the local restaurants, so they have a pick and choice of where they want to eat rather than grinding them through a cafeteria. And we really design events where students can showcase, can share things that are really important to them, right? As I mentioned, lots of events, lots of festivals, lots of activities for the students.
Now, when you visited Pakistan this year, correct?
Yes.
Did you have the opportunity to visit the High Commission there, Canadian High Commission?
I was supposed to visit.
You were supposed to.
And that's when we had a little change of government.
Okay.
And so that had to be canceled, and I wasn't able to get to Islamabad.
Got it.
But,
no, I thought I would have asked you that question because if you had sat with them, exchanged the ideas, how fast track they can do the student applications online or through the processing what they have in our country, because they use a third country right now to process an application. So you probably have gone through that.
Yes.
Where do they send the applications right now?
Dubai.
To Dubai. So you're not in Pakistan. You're
and
in
aware of
Pakistan.
that.
You're dealing with Canada, where applications getting processed in Dubai, in UAE.
It makes it very challenging. I would say, though, the students are telling us that it is getting easier and easier.
Okay.
It is very easy for students from India to
once somebody applies with you guys, let's say online, or through us or through resources that we all have, what's the second step? Once they apply, does their education first get evaluated in Canada by a team in Algoma University?
Yes. So our recruitment team, and sometimes we work with agents, will work with that potential student to make sure that they've got what they need to successfully apply to Algoma.
Okay.
So we work through that process.
And once they apply and they get accepted, what's the process looks like from that point on till the time they get the visa? And you may can shed a light on that because you have gone through that process a year ago, right?
Yeah, exactly. After applying for the Algoma University, after 2 or 3 weeks maximum, you just get respond back to your query, and after just getting respond back, you can even just start working on your visa processes along with your submitting your fees. And in your visa,
so the 1 year fee have to be transferred over in Canada to the institutions that you have. Okay, that's
to the institution's account,
Yep.
and they just give you a response back like confirmation email, and just you have submitted your dues. We have to submit that paper along.
So do you also have to submit any money for your boarding and lodging other than the 1 year fee when you're coming as an international student?
No, but
you have to bring it with you.
Yeah, we have to bring it with me. But yeah, for if you are applying for the student direct stream, it's this condition that you have to pay a GIC of $10,000. That's just your granted amount. That will be returned to you within 1 year, like per month your expenses of living here.
So 1 year fee and $10,000 deposit.
Yeah, those $10,000 will be returned back to you per month.
And so that $10,000 goes to Algoma University, or it goes to?
No, it depends on the bank. It's either maybe it's on Scotia Bank, RBC, ICI.
Wherever they have the newcomers program.
And that's for all international students. And it's just meant to be a safeguard that if they get into trouble financially, that they've got funds.
Yeah. Okay. And so from after that, what's the process next? Like once you submitted the money was transferred over, and then how long did it took you to actually physically get the visa and come to Canada?
Actually, it depends. Like after submitting your fees, you just have to collect your documents and gather that and just apply for the visa. And after applying, now these days, sometimes it just takes 20 days, sometimes it takes almost one, and maximum it takes 1 month.
Okay.
These days.
Did you have to go through a medical exam there?
Yeah, for that we have to go through medical exam.
With the Canadian designated doctors?
Okay. Exactly, it's over there in the Lahore.
And what about any other stuff other than that, like a police clearance maybe?
Police clearance certificate, family registration certificate,
okay,
and biometric,
okay,
obviously.
Okay.
And what we do is if the student's visa hasn't come in on time, then we can defer their registration. So we take registrations for domestic and international, April, September, and December.
April, September, and
so
December.
they can still start a few months later. Doesn't jeopardize their
What
start
happens
date.
in case, Asima, the money's been transferred over, everything is done, and for any reason, like they become inadmissible because of police clearance or medical? What is the notion that you guys have to return refunding the money back to the students? How does it
so
work?
we have a very sophisticated bank system that if they have been denied their visa for whatever reason, then that refund is just immediately sent back to them.
Back to them.
So once they've been denied,
okay,
it's just the refund goes automatically back to their bank account.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's focus a little bit, and I'm gonna request you keep on coming back so we can talk. Every few weeks, on different things. Let's focus a little bit about the Canadian students.
Sure.
Those programs that you are offering, and what does people need to know?
Well, I think they need to know there's a university in the downtown Brampton, and it's a very high quality learning experience. We are very excited to be welcoming the domestic student. During COVID, it was difficult. We couldn't get into the local high schools or meet with the school boards. But we are in those conversations now. This will be the first time that we've recruited heavily for domestic students.
Okay.
So we have a one-time bursary for all students in the Brampton catchment area. And it's just all done by postal code, where students can get a $3,000 bursary this year and I believe next year to put towards their tuition fees.
Okay.
And what we're trying to do there is make people aware and get them to have a look.
And that bursary is like a loan? Or?
No, it is a bursary, so it's taken right off your tuition.
Okay.
If you apply and are accepted at Algoma.
Okay.
We're having tours now on the campus. We are now in about 5 buildings around Garden Square.
I saw that, yes.
It's a brand new renovated facility.
Yeah.
We did all the renovations
Very
through
beautiful,
COVID.
I saw it, yeah.
So you're coming into state-of-the-art classrooms. We know students are looking for a more personal, intimate university experience.
Yep.
And if that's speaking to you and you're looking at business or computer science, psychology, community economic social development, we have a program for you that is probably minutes away from your doorstep. No residence, no travel. You can just come and stay within your own community. And that's what the city asked us for. They did not want their youth migrating out, because often when youth migrate out, they don't come back, right? The job opportunities, they meet their former or their future husband or wife or partner. And so Brampton felt like they were losing a lot of their young talent. And so that's part of the reason they're so excited that Algoma is here. So this next 2 years, we'll be really focusing on our domestic enrollment as well. So we have students from 60 countries. And we also want that amazing multicultural domestic enrollment coming to our campus as well.
Very nice. Thank you very much for coming in today from all the way Sault Ste. Marie. Next time I'll catch you when you're back in Brampton, and we'll request you to come back to the studios. Thank you for coming in and sharing your valuable thoughts, especially with our audience, and the processes that you have gone through to help. That's okay. It happens that sometimes on a live transmission things do happen. But अगर आपको कोई भी क्वेश्चन हो व्यूअर्स, तो आप मुझे प्रोग्राम के बाद कॉल कर सकते हैं या हमारे स्टूडियो लाइन पे कॉल कर सकते हैं, and I will be able to answer all those questions for you. अपना ख्याल रखिए, और I'll come back to you on Friday for a municipal election transmission, which is generally what we do on a Friday night. And we have about 2 or 3 different guests from different ridings, and we will talk to them regarding the upcoming October 24 election. अपना ख्याल रखें, दुआ में याद रखें. I'll come back to you inshallah on Friday. तब तक के लिए very good evening, very good night. Thank you for watching Voice of Toronto Television. Bye bye.